Alright, today we're going to get a brisket ready to smoke tomorrow. This is about a 3 or 4 pound brisket point that I've had frozen, thawed it out. What we're going to do is get this ready to smoke for tomorrow. It's going to be rubbed down, injected, all that stuff. It'll sit overnight. So we're going to pull it out of this bag here. And I like to just rinse it off. Get that blood off of it right now. You can see how marbled it is. It's going to be really good. It does have a little bit of the flat left on there. We are going to do some trimming on it. And put it on here. And we're going to pat it down just a little bit. Get some of that excess moisture off of it. Just like that. Okay. First thing that we're going to do is I inject the brisket to help keep it moist during the smoke. But all I inject it with is beef broth. So I got a can of beef broth. Little cheap injector here. You don't need nothing fancy. And just about every inch or so, we're going to inject it. You can see it. I don't know if you can see it, but it plumps up just a little bit. That's when you know that that injection is getting deep into the meat, making it. That shouldn't happen. Well, it's a cheap injector, so it happens. You will get some injection that comes out of the meat. That's alright. Most of it's staying in there. Just like that. All this does, it doesn't really flavor the meat because it's just a beef flavor. But it helps keep it moist. Get some moisture down in that meat. We got some runoff right there. It's gonna, like I said, it's gonna come out of that meat, but a lot of it, if you get enough in there, it's gonna stay inside of it. A lot of people inject it with a whole bunch of stuff. I don't think it's for putting flavor in it. Brisket tastes good by itself. Okay. We're going to take that, dump off some of the moisture there. Try to keep it a little bit clean here. Then put this into the pan. Now I got some my rub here. It's got some chili powder, some paprika, some dried parsley, garlic salt, onion salt, a bunch of different stuff. So it's really good. You just got to come up with your own rub, test them out, see what you like, all that stuff. The first thing that I'm going to do real quick is also going to use some Worcestershire sauce. This is just some cheap Worcestershire sauce. Brand new bottle I had to buy today. And some people use mustard, some people use nothing. I like to put some Worcestershire on there because it goes great with beef. And all that does is gives that rub something to stick to. Like to keep one hand rubbing it, one hand dry. And you're gonna spread this on thick. This is what creates a good bark. When you smoke this, it gives it a lot of flavor. Get it buried down deep inside of there. And I don't really rub it down too much, just give it a pat. Trying to get most of it on this meat side instead of the fat side over there. Some people will trim this brisket down, trim a lot of fat off. I don't think it needs. First of all, this has been trimmed a little bit already, but all that fat on the other side, that will break down. Most of it will break down during smoking, helping to keep that meat moist. Try to get the sides here a little bit. And I'll flip it over. Do the other side. I said you don't need a lot of rub on this side, but it does help create a good bark. We're going to throw this away real quick. Last thing I like to do is just kind of score the fat side. I think this helps the fat to kind of break down while you smoke it. We're not trying to go too deep into the meat. Just cut a little bit off there. I was just going to hang. Kind of helps get some of the seasoning down in there. But I think it just does a good job breaking down the meat. Plus it makes it look pretty good. Let me wash my hands. And I'll just put a little bit more Worcestershire on it because I think that tastes so good. That also helps get down inside of those scores. Got a little Ziploc bag here. And that's going to marinate all night long. And we'll be back. Alright, here's what we'll be smoking on. Got the little Traeger out here. Smoking real good. Temperature's only up to about 153 degrees. I got an inside oven thermometer there that's reading just under 200, maybe 175. So we'll get the temperature up on this a little bit more. We'll go inside and show you our brisket after marinating for I don't know, about 12-13 hours overnight, and we'll start again from there. Alright, there it is. Brisket's been marinating all night, and we will go get this put on the smoker. It's set out on the counter here for about an hour. Try to get it a little close to room temp so it's not gonna cool the smoker down too much. And see you in a minute. Alright, kind of a windy day out here. I don't know if you can hear me, but smoker's up to 210, hovering around there. Inside one up close to 250. So I'll take the average of both of them, about 225 right now. And we'll get this smoker, or we'll put this brisket on here. Got a little pan of water in there. And the star of the show here. That's it. We'll check back here in a little bit, and we'll show the mop sauce that we put on it, and we'll just let it cook slow and low. Alright guys, we're going to start to prepare our brisket mop sauce, which we're going to apply to the brisket here in just a little bit. The way I like to start out is about 1/3 cup of bacon chopped into bits. I got a hot pan over here. I'm just going to get that in there. We'll cook that off for just a little bit. Alright, we got that bacon cooked off here for a couple minutes. Then what I'm going to do is add 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. And then about a 1/2 cup of chopped onions. And we'll let that cook off. Alright, the onions are becoming translucent, and we're cooked off enough. And then just for a minute here, we're going to add about 4 cloves of minced garlic. And we're just going to cook that for about a minute here. Really start to smell good here. Let that cook off. Alright, all that's been cooking for about a minute. Don't want to cook that garlic too much, it'll start to burn without any liquid in there. So now we're just going to finish it off here with all the rest of the stuff. 1 cup of beef base, 1/3 of a cup of Worcestershire sauce, 1/4 of a cup of A1 steak sauce, 1 tablespoon of the same rub that we rubbed down our brisket with, and open this bottle here. We're going to do 1/4 of a cup of apple cider vinegar. Then we're going to cook this off, bring it to a boil, let it simmer for 15 minutes, and then it'll be ready to apply to the brisket. Alright, 2.5 hours in, our first look at the brisket, we're going to mop it. Looking good so far. Long way to go here. Alright, that's it. We'll see you in a little while. Okay, it's about 7 o'clock. Been in there for about 7 hours. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it in foil now. Temp at 160, so we got a ways to go. But we're going to put it in some foil to help get past that stall. I just mopped it here, but let's take a look at it. Looking pretty good. Definitely pretty good. Alright, so we'll be back over here. Oops, sorry about that. Dang wind. I'll just take a little bit more mop, pour it in there on the sides a little bit. Okay, so that probe's gonna warm back up here. And I didn't put that probe in until like 2 hours ago, or 2 hours before, after I started it. So we're about 7 hours right now. We'll check it back later. Alright, the brisket's done. Give you guys a look here. Smells amazing. lot of juice in there.
No.
How do you get this thing out of here? Hold on. Ready?
It's on.
This thing's been resting for about 45 minutes. Cooked for about 9 hours. Save all that juice. And through the magic of time, it's all done. Alright, we'll just start from here. Look at that. That is good brisket right there. Really hot, but thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Now we're gonna eat.